Good morning, everyone. My name is Tanner, and the analysis that I'll be doing today is on John Martin's 1853 piece of work called The Great Day of His Wrath. This is a highly romanticized and sublime style picture. That being the case, this is a large-scale scene with lots of small details meant to encourage close-up viewing as well as seeing it as a whole. So let's get started. When I first got into this, my eyes were drawn to this contrast between the red, the orange, and the darkness in the foreground. We see what appears to be lava or an opening to a classical biblical description of hell in the bottom center of the entire portrait, with lots of indescript objects falling into it, appearing to be lava or fire bursting out of it. This creates a line from the contrasting colors to the left, where we see what appears to be a bottomless pit in the very center of the image. Following that line, our eyes are brought to a actual line of another contrasting color in light in the background and darkness in the foreground. Following that up, we see a mountain falling in on itself. And up into the left-hand corner, we see an actual line being created again by the artist, this time in the form of what appears to be lightning, drawing our eyes back across the top center of the image, where once we look at a little bit closer, we realize these aren't just two random pieces of rock falling in on each other. This is actually soon to be the remains of a city. We can see different columns and different structures all along the right-hand side of the image here, all falling at different various velocities, if you will, in the progress of falling in on itself. We even see that there's snow on the far right side of the image, and what would have been the far right side of this rightmost scene here. So snow-capped mountains on the right-hand side. We see the snow contrasting against the darkness in the center of the image, and we can follow it down. We see even more columns of buildings that once were, but are soon going to be indiscriminately at the bottom of this pit. As we continue looking down, we see lots of individual dots, which actually create an implied line, as we realize that these are actually people that were fleeing the city. And if we zoom out just a little bit and come over to the left, we see that there looks like everyone was just moments ago in one large crowd, but given how there's some people even in the act of falling into this pit, it seems to have been a rather rapid action that has happened here that has caused all this, from the lightning to the fire to the city falling in on itself. This image is highly sublime in nature, lots of actual and implied lines, lots of diagonal lines showing implied motion and action. The city's falling in on itself, the people falling, the rocks falling, everything happening seemingly all at once, but frozen in time. And as with all implied motion pieces of work, this leads us to recreate in our mind what this must have looked like just moments ago and what it'll look like just moments after. This has been my analysis of The Great Day of His Wrath by John Martin.